Good evening and welcome back to the Charlton Chronicles. We're a relatively happy bunch tonight, I believe. Pretty good, solid point away at a very good side yesterday. As you can see, we have a full house again, which is lovely. This is my squad, this is my people, so I'm very happy. So we are joined by Tom, Paul, Sid and Steve and the lovely Tyler. Tom, I'll start with you. How are you, mate? Nice to see you yesterday, and sorry about the noise from in front of you.
That's all right. No, it was a very, very good day yesterday. Sung for 90 minutes straight, pretty much. Didn't stop. And dare I say, it was actually a very entertaining 0-0. So yeah, I mean, I'm very happy. Still unbeaten. Still haven't conceded a goal either. So yeah, very happy start to the season. So.
Good stuff. And Paul, how are you, mate? I love you two are matching in your Chronicles hats.
Absolutely, getting the merch in, take a hint, everyone. Yeah, I'm obviously happy with the point. I think we probably should have won, but obviously gutted not to be there. Jealous of all of you that went. Looked a fantastic atmosphere. For those of you that know, I was up in Horwich, which is within sight of the Tough Sheet stadium. I hope we never have to go again in sort of living memory or whatever. But so it was a great weekend. But don't tell Jude. I think she's gone downstairs. But yeah, I know where I'd rather have been. I mean, you've heard of FOMO, Emma. Fear of missing out. For me, there's a new acronym to add: fear that I missed out. For Timo, I think. So yeah, I know I missed out. So, but as I say, looked a great day. But yeah, I watched the game on Charlton TV, and the team did incredibly well. They should have won, I think. So, but no, all good.
Yeah, and Stephen, Sid, obviously lovely to see you as always yesterday. I did have to escort Sid to the toilet because she couldn't find it. How are you both? And did you enjoy your food that you had at Bristol City yesterday?
Yeah, brilliant day yesterday. Brilliant support. Lots of new songs as well, which was lovely to get involved in.
We'll get into them. Yeah, don't you worry about that.
Yeah, I thought it was a brilliant team performance. Yeah, I think Nathan Jones backed it up at the end when he almost kind of thanked us as much as we thanked them. But yeah, the food was all right as well. Yeah, nice ground, nice stadiums. Good.
Yeah, it was actually really good. You know what? Better than I expected. Big stadium, I thought. And yeah, atmosphere was just unbelievable from us.
Yeah, and Sid, I wore the bracelet Sid got me from Thailand. That's now been to 2 games and we are unbeaten. So that bracelet will be staying on my wrist at any future games for luck. And you have to kiss the elephant before the game. That's what I figured out now. So that's what I do now to get us good luck. So Tyler, finally, mate, how are you?
Yeah, all good. Again, as you said at the start, relatively happy from yesterday, and yeah, we're loving life in the Championship at the moment, and it's a long way that continue.
Yeah, we just to give you guys a brief overview of tonight. Obviously, we're going to go through the point yesterday, talk about the individual performances, which were, for me, there were some outstanding ones. And we're going to do a little, because we don't really have a midweek game or much else to talk about. We're going to get to know Team Charlton Chronicles. Obviously, we're a new bunch this season, or obviously, well, newish, but, this is the lineup for the rest of the season. So I'm going to be doing a little Q&A with these guys so you guys can get to know a little bit more about the team here, and they will be asking me a few questions as well. So we'll say good evening to a few in the chat. So good evening to Jack. Another Jack, good evening. Trace is in there. Good evening, my Charlton buddies. Harvey Nibs, I like it. If you know, you know. I've woke up all night, all morning, running around the shop singing this. It's a nightmare. Chris is in there. Good evening. Solid point away yesterday. Impressive performance. Defence solid. We could have won it. Chris has then come back with Harvey Nibs. I like it. I've got a feeling this is going to be the theme of tonight. Zara's in there. Hello. That was a good point. Lionel's in there. Good evening. Evening to Ian and James. Good evening to Mark. I must say it was really nice to meet Mark yesterday. He approached me. Really lovely to meet you yesterday, Mark. Thanks for coming up to me. Margaret is in there. She said we will be more than okay this season. Glenny Boyer said, good evening, Emma and gang. And Rizla said, how's it hanging, Tyler?
Oh, good, mate.
So I'm actually going to go in reverse order. So Tyler, I'm going to start with you. Obviously, I had a little bit of fear probably going into the game yesterday. After they absolutely tore Sheffield United a new one, I think that's the only way we could possibly put that. I was a bit nervous before the game, and driving up to Bristol, I was like, "Oh, this is not going well." I'm nervous, and I don't normally get too nervous for a game, but I felt really, really nervous. And honestly, I left Bristol last night, and I felt on cloud nine. It felt almost as good as a win for me, and I was buzzing, and that's not very often you can say that after a 0-0 draw, is it? So, what's your thoughts on that yesterday?
Yeah, same feelings all round. I think going into the game, again, they just smashed the living daylights out of Sheffield United. You probably would have gone into that thinking these guys could tear us a new one, and we'd take the point happily. And we both predicted a draw, if I remember correctly. And I'd have taken that hands down. And I think coming away from that game, there was so many positives to take from that game. But I think the biggest positive out of all of them is that we don't look alien in this league. We look like we can actually play, and we're comfortable at this level. The fact that we matched Bristol City, who were in the playoffs last season, they just beat one of the favourites for promotion. The fact that they didn't really pose much of a threat to our defence, shows that we are in a very good position for this league. I think all round it was a very typical performance of the Nathan Jones side. Defensively we were just rock solid again. They really struggled to break us down. They did look threatening. They had a couple of good chances where they probably should have scored a couple of them, but it was just a very good defensive performance. Attackingly from our side, we had chances to win it late on. The second half when the substitutes come on, so much better again. They changed the game and could have nicked it late again with nibs. But all in all, I think just a very good performance. Atmosphere sounded electric as well. It was just a brilliant day and a really, really good point away from home, and shows that, as I said there, the biggest positive from it is that we look comfortable at this league and we're not here to muck about. We're here to stay here.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. We didn't look out of place at all, and I think what's even better, and I'm sorry to my friends at the Fearless in Devotion podcast over there in Wales, but we've got because I know Dobbo's at Wrexham, but we've played 2, got 4 points, and they've played 2 and got 0 points. Which I did have a little dig on their Facebook, and I put back to back to back. Oh shit! So. Yeah. I know. I shouldn't have done it, but you know what? The rubbish they gave us after they pummeled us at the end of the season, I thought, yeah, you deserved that. So, up the Charlton. So Stephen said, I'll come to you. I mean, that atmosphere for me yesterday was one of the best away ends I've been in for a long, long time. What did you make of that atmosphere there yesterday? And I mean, let's talk about the Bristol City fans as well. I mean, coming off a 4-1 win, I was expecting, a sellout ground. Ashton Gate, what a really lovely stadium as well, I will say. But were you shocked at how quiet they were, and how impressed were you with our, atmosphere in that away end?
Yeah, as you just said, seeing as though they came off of a 4-1 win, you'd expect them to be more excited and kind of want to show their passion, but they didn't sing at all, and it was only their ultras in one of the corner stands that was trying to do something, but you couldn't hear them, and we just oversang them by a mile, and it was just brilliant to see, because one of the best away ends that I've been in was Portsmouth away in 2023, I think, and the atmosphere there was just electric, so that was on a par with that, and to see that again was just brilliant.
I think to their credit, I saw a couple of posts yesterday on Facebook from their fans, and I think we impressed the hell out of them as well with the way that we went there yesterday. I think it was non-stop from minute 1 to minute 90. And I think there was an acceptance from their end. I don't think it was one of those vice versa things for them. They really didn't do a lot to get their team going, and their team didn't do a lot to get them going. And I think you get situations like that. And when the noise, I mean, I'd like to have heard it from the other end, because it was really, really, really loud at our end, wasn't it? And as I say, everyone seemed to be having a good time as well, which is what we want, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah,
no, it was absolutely brilliant. And Sid, you saying about their ultras. Adam showed me a picture earlier of them on Twitter, and all I'd say is they were ultra fat. I don't know how old was, but a few of them had their bellies out. One of them had bigger boobs than me. So,
I went on, had a bit of a look on their socials, and there was like a picture or a video of that corner with their ultras, and it had "rocking" as the caption. And I thought, well, what actually was rocking there? Because I think that we were the ones rocking.
I think it was their boobs, Sid. They
rippling and rocking.
Yeah, and I've just got to give a shout out to my girl Sid as well. On her way back from Bristol yesterday, she went past the den, and what did you do, Sid?
I gave it.
Love it.
She gave it the finger as she went past on the train with permission from her dad. He was very, very proud in that moment, but she gave the den the finger, which it just makes me fingers. Yeah, it makes me love her even more than I already do. Tom, I'm going to come to you because obviously we're probably going to hear it a lot tonight. The two new songs. What do you make? I had for those of you that know Kim or don't know Kim, my friend Kim, she texted me this morning saying that she woke up thinking she was David Bowie. So, do you want to explain for those of us that may not know, or those of us that haven't heard these new songs? You can sing if you want, Tom. You can do what you want on this pod, Tom. Come on, give us a little ditty.
No, but I mean, Harvey and Olympus one, he loves it himself. He was dancing on a bloody touchline to it as well. It's been in my head the whole time. That Apta song as well is going round and round in my head as well. But they're actual decent chances as well, because I know sometimes we come up with a chance which aren't all right. But yeah, I need get a few pints down me, then maybe. But no,
there's no excuse. You had Strongbow on the train yesterday. Saw it.
No, it was electric. I'll say that much. And it, as Sid said, I think that's probably one of the best away ends I've been in a very, very long time. And yeah, it's quite nice to be in a proper stadium, if that makes sense as well.
Tom, yeah. Everyone's wanting you to sing, mate.
One day.
I'll do the aha bit if you do it.
One day.
One day.
Well, for those of you that don't know the song, I'll give you a quick little ditty. Yeah. So you can always rely on me to make a tit of myself. So it's Harvey Nibs. I like it. Harvey Nibs. I like it.
It was going for the whole 90 minutes pretty much.
And Harvey was on the sideline going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Rob Actor one, I'm not singing, but it's there's a star man running down the right. His name is Robbie Actor, and he's fucking dynamite.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we did nick that one from Blackpool. So, but both very good songs. So when you're back at the Valley, we want to hear them loud and proud. Paul, I'll come to you next. We'll pull out some player performances. I mean, look, one I have to start with. Man of the match, Mr. Kane Ramsey. You know, I saw someone put in here, like, Ballon d'Or winner 2026. You know, what an unbelievable performance.
I get worried, like, because obviously Tyler tweeted something out yesterday, like, you know, the greatest Premier League player, and I'm like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? Draw your attention to this bloke. You know, we want to keep him. I mean,
so many people in the comments are like, "Shh, don't stop talking about it."
Yeah, I mean, me and Tom said nothing to see here. I think is one of them. But yeah, I mean, that ship sailed now, isn't it? That laden galleon sailed. They all know how good he is, and he is. It's just, I mean, in the wake of the early untimely death of the late great your Costa. One of those tackles was actually sort of Costa all over the tank, all over. He sort of came in from the sort of the side, 45 degrees, took the ball, could easily have taken a card, but he timed it just so well. He is a Rolls Royce. We've talked about Amari Bell being a Rolls Royce, but if you think of Kane, he's like a Rolls Royce that gets valeted every day. You know, gets an engine retune every single day. I mean, he's just something else, isn't he? It's just, you know, he posted. I mean, sometimes when you think you're going to sign a player, you know, you get these videos coming in from, you know, Silesia or whatever, 3 minutes of great, supposedly great play, and then you realise it's from 6 games or something.
Yeah.
Kane, he put what 1 minute 50 he put up yesterday, and it was like every 5 seconds was a great tackle, a great interception, a great pass. I mean, the guy's on another level. Sorry, I don't want to quote 1980s boy bands or whatever, but he is absolutely brilliant. He really is something very special, and we're very lucky to have him. As many people have said before me, what on earth was he doing playing at Harrogate? With respect to Harrogate, I mean, I know people get lost. I think it was in sort of Chelsea and Southampton youth systems, and they must be kicking themselves because, particularly Southampton, because all the good young lads they've had come through there, and they obviously they let Kane go. It's just, and he is just absolutely fantastic, isn't it? He stepped up to it. I mean, we wondered last week. The great unknown was some of these players have never played in the Championship. Obviously, some like Bell have, but it was the great unknown. The 2 Blackpool lads, particularly Kane, and Kane he's just gone up levels. He played League 2 to League 1. It was a piece of the proverbial. League 1 to the Championship, and he's just to the manner born. He's an exceptional player. The worry that I've got is that obviously come at the beginning of February, he may not be a Charlton player. But that exactly, Bill, exactly that. I mean, I don't know if he'll go this time, but certainly January, it's sort of red alert time. He likes it here. He's obviously well loved, but when a Premier League club comes calling, well, exactly, yeah. Come on, Tom. But yeah, no, absolutely. It's just. I mean, he is something else, really. We're very lucky to have him, and long may he be, in a Charlton shirt. But my worry is that he may not be. But perhaps I shouldn't say that. But no, he's just great. He's just a great player, exceptional.
Yeah, that is Paul Davenport's love letter to Kane Ramsey. Please do not leave us. I was actually talking to him last night, and he assures me that he's a right back. I went, Kane, you're not a right back. You play at right centre back. And he's like, there's only one centre back. And I'm like, I'm not arguing with you. I said, you're not a right back, so we don't play right backs. he's adamant he's a right back, and I'm not having it.
Well, Kane's one of the only players I actually met in person, Emma, last season in the car park, and he tapped me on the shoulder. And I try and wash around the place that he tapped me on because it's still there. I'm preserving it under, sort of a bandage because it's just a special place. It's like being touched by God. Anyway, I think this cider may be having an effect, so I better shut me.
I can't. I think you've had too many beers, Paul, in all honesty. But there's one here. So if Kane is still here, end of the season, then that's a win.
Yeah.
I think if Charlton was sensible now, slap a big price tag on him or extend his contract, I can't see him going for anything less than 10 million at this point. Yeah. So cough up if you want him because he ain't going to be cheap. And as Mark said here, he needs to stop doing those highlight reels. Before people seeing what he can do. Do you know
his agent's like,
it's the fact for me, he's that good of a player. He can post a highlight reel every single game.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh yeah.
It's wild.
But I did call him out on one he did. I can't remember what game it was, but he did the most shocking pass. And I went, you didn't put that in your highlight reel, did you? So yeah, he don't put his mistakes in there. Tyler, I'm going to come to you next because someone else who I wasn't sure about last week, and this week he absolutely shut me up. Amari Bell, I thought what another incredible performance. He looked so frigging solid yesterday, and I was really doubtful whether Macca should have been dropped for him. I thought it was very harsh on Macca, to be honest, after the performances he was putting in last season, especially towards the back end of the season. Was that justified now? Is it proved that was the correct decision?
Well, I wasn't actually against it when he was first brought in against Watford because I felt, it was harsh to drop Gillespie, especially off the season he's just had. But Bell was one of the standout performers for me in pre-season. He looked very confident on the ball and looked assured in that backline. And I was very happy to see him in the team. I wasn't against it at all. Obviously, against Watford, he was a bit nervy. He was a little bit overconfident, shall we say. Quite a few times he nearly put us in a difficult position. But against Bristol City, he really, tidied up that ante, and he was very, very good defensively again. I think that entire back three, to be honest, was just so rock solid. But Bell, I think, showed that he's not just going to be a squad player for us. This is what I initially thought he was going to be when he came in. I thought he was going to be back up to Edwards, but he's actually now taken Gillespie out of the team, and he's now at the moment making it his own. You know, he's been very, very solid, and he's that experience that we need in the back line. And yeah, he didn't put a foot wrong at all against Bristol City, and I was very, very impressive what he can do, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do in the next few games. It is harsh on Gillespie, and obviously I would like to see Maka get some minutes this season in the Championship because I think he deserves it. But Bell, at the moment, currently keeping him quiet, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%, and it's got to be nice to have that competition within the squad
sure.
as well. Sid and Steve, not someone who last season I obviously blew a lot of smoke up his backside. This season, obviously, I haven't so much, but we are only 2 games in. Lloyd Jones. Now, again, I thought it was another outstanding performance from Lloyd. But I think maybe the previous season, Lloyd had carried that back line. Do you feel now that they're pretty equal, and Lloyd isn't so much carrying that back line as he once was? I mean, obviously, he's in the centre of the 3. He's still an excellent player, but is he getting maybe more backup now than he sort of got last season?
Yeah, 100%. I think he's also one of those players as well that Bell and Kane are probably playing to the side of him, thinking, he's so reliable. If they do make a mistake, then there's every chance he'll put a block in and do something like that. And I think it's probably spreaded confidence between those 3. I mean, yesterday he was as dominant as he always is. Obviously, Kane was a standout player, but the blocks he put in, the way that he marshalled them, he had a bit of a run-in with Kaminsky in the first half as well. So I think he's almost, making himself that captain, that senior back player, and it can only be good for the other 2. The fact that he has got those other 2 will only benefit his game as well. So I think it's a bit of a win-win in that situation. But as I say, he was right up there again yesterday. Brilliant performance from him. Marshalled it well, used it well, and I think he got us out trouble a couple of times. But yeah, he's playing with 2 good guys, and they're a good trio.
Yeah.
Sorry, Emma.
No, you're fine.
The blocks that Lloyd was making yesterday was just brilliant. There was sometimes where I'm thinking, oh no, like they could score here, and then all of a sudden you've just got Lloyd in the way, and then everyone's like, yeah.
Yeah. One other question I was going to ask you about Lloyd. Obviously from set piece routines, Connor looks to float those crosses in, and we didn't really have as many chances from those corners yesterday as maybe we did against Watford. Do you think we're becoming a little bit predictable? Because I noticed like Lloyd was getting doubled up on at corners, and I think teams are going to quickly sort of click on to the fact that that's what we do. We get it to Lloyd, and he tries to nod it across the box.
Yeah, I think that is one thing now that we kind of telegraph a little bit. But then again, he is so dominant in the air. Even though it's coming, you've still got to compete with the guy and beat him, which is another thing in itself. I don't think although our record from set pieces is fantastic, we haven't got many bigger guys like Lloyd, to be honest with you. I think we've got quite a few that are alert for second balls, which is exactly what you need when you've got a dominant player. But I think if let's just say we had another couple of really tall guys like him that went up to attack the ball, then we'd be scary good. So yeah, you could change it around a little bit. Connor could maybe drive a couple in just to see if anyone can get a flick, but it seems to be working at the moment. But as you say, it is a little bit telegraphed.
Yeah. And Tom, I'll come to you about the wing backs. So obviously, Josh. Again, Josh is Josh, isn't he? Like he does what he needs to do, and I can confirm that he is okay. By the way, for anyone who saw him get a little knock and come off, he said it was not much. I think he just wanted to come off in case. And obviously, Robbie Apter, I mean, what do you even say about this guy? He's come through Blackpool's academy and he's producing performances like that. I mean, he had their, defence on absolute strings yesterday. It was magical to see. He's going to be some player for us this season. So, what do you make of those performances from those guys yesterday?
I mean, first of all, for those Blackpool fans who said he wasn't ready, you're very, very wrong. It's like the last 2 performances, he's been unbelievable. And dare I say, I'm not sad that we got rid of Small now, because in recent years I'd have been kicking myself. Damn, we got rid of a player like that. But Apter's filled that gap in very, very well. I did get worried at the end that he was going to get sent off, but thankfully he didn't. Yeah, no, Josh Edwards, he again had that. He had that side locked down to a minimum every single time. It was on the player. He was quite smart as well because he didn't commit a lot of fouls either. Like he was on them, pressuring them, didn't do a lot of fouls. Some of his crosses as well were very, very nice as well. Apt as well. One thing I have not noticed is that it's different to Small. He cuts in crosses, and some of his crosses are immense. And if someone like Leeburn comes on, he will get on the end of those things and head it in the net. It's as simple as that. Obviously, you got to be careful out there that he doesn't run himself into the ground on that side. But he had that left back on strings yesterday. And yeah, it's quite nice to have players both sides that we can rely on as well, rather than having one kind of better than the other. Because in my opinion, they're both quite similar as well, but on each side.
I will say my only problem is with Rob that he can't really defend. Yeah. There was one incident where their winger just literally flew past him, and I was like, Kane.
But I say, I think that's kind of a reason why Jones has kind of let him go forward as much because he's got Kane as backup. Yeah. I know. Obviously, Kane can't do everything, but I think having Kane behind Rob is probably one of the biggest confidence boosters that I could probably think of.
Yeah, 100%. I think, and Kane's quick as well, which obviously helps, doesn't it? So, Paul, I'm going to come to you about the middle three. Obviously, for me, are you frozen or are you just sitting really still? Oh, no, you're
very still. I think. It comes with my age, Emma. I've got to preserve me.
I thought you were dead for a minute.
No comment.
Oh, I do make myself laugh. Right, I'm going to come to you about. I'm going to come to you about the middle three. Now, obviously, we started the same as we did against Watford.
Yeah.
Now, look, Connor Coventry does Connor Coventry things, don't he?
He does. It's your big mate now, of course. Yeah.
But when he was doing corners on our side, I was shouting out, "Go on, Ricey!"
I did hear that. Yes.
Yeah. So he knows. He would have known that was me shouting abuse at him. And Carey, I thought, had another good game.
Brilliant.
I felt like maybe he got pushed off the ball a little bit. Would probably be my only negative with him. Possibly. But I think Tyler's gone to sleep now. I think the biggest he's awake. I think the biggest talking point for me would be it's still the place of Greg Doherty.
Yeah.
So what did you make of that midfield three performance yesterday? And do you think that is still our midfield three going forward?
Well, firstly, Emma, I didn't think that Jones would change the lineup from Luton. He was going to persist with them. I did
from Luton.
Sorry, what am I talking about? From Watford, even. Sorry,
you was asleep.
what is in this stuff? But no, as I say, I actually thought, to be fair, Doc got himself about, put himself about more. There were questions being asked after the Watford game. So I think he was reasonably solid. Whether it's the case of others are covering for him, the team being greater than the sum of its parts, because as you say, we've got some great individuals. When you look at sort of Sonny and Rob going forward, that distracts the defence of the opposition, doesn't it? And the midfield, of course. I mean, Bristol City have got an excellent midfield, but as I say, we were obviously detaining them and giving them things to divert their attention. So it may have been that actually, possibly Doc got a slightly easier ride than he might have done, and he wasn't under the spotlight as much as he was at that first game. Again, I think he's a solid player, but as we said last week, he's going to have to go some to keep his place because you've got people champing at the bit. You've obviously got Harvey, and as I say, it's just. It may just be a matter of time. I thought we did okay yesterday, but okay is not going to be good enough. There are going to be some really severe battles ahead, and we need every single 1 to 11, whatever number they are these days, to actually really put a shift in. Obviously, not saying that Doc doesn't put a shift in, but it needs to be more than that. And after all, he's captain as well, so he needs to be exerting his influence like he did at points last season. He's not really doing that. So I think I said last week I thought his place could well be under threat. I think the jury's out from my perspective, because as I say, doing all right is just not going to cut in this league. And there are people sort of queuing up behind him to take his place. So I give him a sort of maybe a 6 out of 10, but that's just not good enough. I think he was, as I say, helped out by the rest of the team. So yeah, we'll keep a watching brief on that one. As I say, sort of week by week, really. It's unfair in a sense to keep one player under the spotlight, but I think it's so important. I mean, that captain position and also in central midfield is just such a pivotal place, isn't it? Really, and all three of them, or four, whichever formation they were playing, need to be firing on all cylinders. Going forward. So as I say, the jury's out. I think on Doc, he did all right yesterday, but as I said, all right's not going to be good enough.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Jones can be very stubborn sometimes with his lineups.
You don't say.
Yeah. It's a Welsh thing, I think. And we shall see going forward. Now, Tyler, I've left the most controversial one to last deliberately for you. So, Charlie Kelman and Tyrese Campbell. Now, I just want to give a shout out to Charlie Kelman because I've seen he's deleted his Instagram. Now, I really hope that isn't because of any abuse he's received. And, that the fan base are going to get behind him. We're only 2 games into the season. Obviously, this guy is our record, signing this summer. Charlie, don't give up, mate. Keep your head held high. Don't listen to any negatives. I know some of the squad watched the pod. Send Charlie our best regards. We're all behind him, as I'm sure most of the fan base is. And I really hope to see you back on Instagram and on your socials. Don't ever feel you have to come off if you receive negative criticism, because, you've more than proved who you are and what you're about, and we all support you 100%. Yeah. So, Tyler, now obviously, I hope that Charlie isn't getting abuse, and, that is why he has deleted his socials. But for me, I know we're only 2 games in, but that front 2 isn't working. It's not the right combination for me. I'm very much I've been massively impressed by Miles Leaburn in these 2 games, which you never thought you'd see come out of my mouth. Miles, if you're watching, you may keel over and faint, because I know you didn't think you'd hear that come out of my mouth. But we look so much stronger when Tanto and Leaburn come on. Yeah. But I think, I'm massively impressed with Tanto, massively. I'm literally in love with this guy. He's got Chuck's shirt. He's basically Chuck's reincarnated fit. Yeah. So I love him. And I think, if we're going to play the way we are with Apter getting those balls into the box, that's not Kelman's game. No. So obviously you're not going to not want to play Kelman, because he's a top scorer from League One last year. He should easily be making this transition to the next division. How can we get him those goals? Give me what you think about that, about all the strikers at the club, and what you think we should be lining up with.
I think, to be honest, we're in a very similar situation as to where we were at this point last season. Because if you think about it, it's pretty much the same thing. We were struggling to really work out what our front 2 was. Because I remember we started the season, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was TC and Gassan, and it was the same thing. That didn't work. And I think we're seeing it at the moment as well with Kelman and TC. What I will say, starting with TC, I felt he was a lot better against Bristol City than he was against Watford. I felt a lot of the attacks in the first half came through him. And he looked threatening. He looked pacey. He caused them some problems. There was obviously, it wasn't the most outstanding performance in the world, but I noticed him a lot more than I did against Watford. And I was like, okay, that's good. That's reassuring to see that he can do that at this level. And I was, to that extent, impressed. With Kelman, it's clear that, the ball's into the box from Apter, who we know can swing a ball in. That isn't his game. And I think Steve Brown put it best on commentary when Kelman got subbed off, in that he is still getting accustomed to a new system. And the reality is, I know Kelman's the top goal scorer in League One, but the thing is, Jones is not going to change his system just on one player. If the system worked last season, he's going to stick to that. And ultimately, Kelman needs to get adjusted to the system that Jones plays, whatever that is. So whether that is in training that we need to start pumping balls into the box and needs to learn how to latch onto them or whatever, or we can get better playing the ball to his feet and in behind, I don't know. But that's something that he obviously needs to work on. Obviously, as you touched upon there, he's deactivated his Instagram account. People are making rumours that it is about abuse. We don't ultimately know that. But if that is the case, then frankly, that is unjustified completely. There's a big difference between giving an opinion and criticising a player, which is part of the game, and players should probably expect that. But abuse is not part of it at all. And the fact is, we're only 2 games into the season. Kelman he had a very limited pre-season. He hasn't had as many minutes in the game as we would like to. Yes, okay, he's not been as involved in terms of attacks and getting shots away. But the one thing I can't knock from what I've seen from Kelman is his effort. It's not as if he's not putting the effort in. He presses constantly. His press is very good. He is trying. He's very early into a new system and he needs to get accustomed to that. So completely not slamming Kelman whatsoever. I have full confidence that he will come good. He just needs time. But it is clear that combination of Kelman and TC, they don't exactly feed off each other well, so we need to work that out. Leeburn and Tanto have been exceptional. They've been absolutely brilliant since they come on the bench. Leeburn yesterday came on and changed the game. Bristol City did not know how to cope with him. And Tanto, as you said there, he's got Chuck's number. He is Chuck's reincarnated, if fit, and he can run. And he's fast as well. He's got every component that Chuck's had, but he's rapid. And he is so scary. And I love Tanto. He is our best looking striker at the moment in terms of what he can offer. And we've still got Godden to come back as well. So our attacking options are there. It's a system that, as I said, it's the same as last season. We're trying to work out what's best fit. At the moment, Leeburn and Tanto look like a really deadly combination. Can you start them from the off, though, is a question I ask myself. But that's a headache that Jones is dealing with at the moment. And it's a good headache to have because it shows that all of them, they can play. But Kelman is obviously the biggest sort of question mark in terms of, can he fit into this team and can we get the best out of him? And he's going to have that pressure of, $3.5 million price tag. He's going to have that pressure on him. And that's probably where the criticism is coming from, because they'll be like, oh, we paid this amount of money, he should be scoring straight away. That's just completely unrealistic. So give Kelman time. But at the moment, what we're doing with him in the team and how we're playing isn't working. So we need to we just need to keep working with him, need to keep supporting him, need to keep integrating him into the team. But it is clear that at the moment, the better combination that we're seeing is Miles and Tanto by a mile.
Yeah, no, look, I'm 100% with that. And I think the problem for me is, it's May and Godden both took time to adapt as well.
I was about to say that, yeah.
And they both didn't hit the ground running. And I think as fans, we can be quite impatient at times.
Yeah.
And be patient. But I think, there is that risk that if he doesn't start scoring soon, you've got Tanto literally biting his ankles to get on the pitch and because he is looking that good for me. And I think I'm with you. He looks like our strongest offer up front at the moment.
Yeah.
So I've been massively impressed with him. I mean, the feedback I had from Russ at the Scarf Bigora War podcast, was saying how good he was. And he tried to sell me a Tanto t-shirt on the cheap. And I was like, no, I don't want it. But I'm tempted to go back and say, no, Russ, I will have one now. It was like Oasis and it just said Tanto on it. So, yeah, I might now get one because I'm literally becoming one of his biggest fans. So, we are going to move on. It's quiz time. Yay!
Oh, nice.
So I have
my internet's gone.
questions. So this is our Get to Know Team Chronicles segment. Look, poor Paul's nearly finished his beer. He's going to need another one. So I've written them down on my phone. So, actually, Paul, you're first.
Oh, God.
There we go.
Oh, sorry, connection's going. Carry on now. Go on.
And you've not all got the same three. You've all got 3 questions, but they're not the same apart from one question. So, Paul, how long have you been supporting the Addicts for?
It's a long story, Emma. First time I went to the Valley was September 1972.
Lovely. And your favourite all-time Charlton player and your favourite current player?
Killer. Sort of this answer, isn't it, really?
That's Derek Howes for anyone who doesn't know.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. For the younger
we
members
did
of the
not have a
audience,
player
sorry.
called Killer.
And I think my favourite current player is Josh.
And that is Mr. Josh Edwards, Charlton Chronicles
indeed.
legend.
Indeed.
And throughout your football career, supporting, what is the best ground you've visited?
It's actually the next stadium in Budapest, which is the national stadium. I actually see how we lived there many years ago. I saw a European Cup semi-final first leg Bayern Munich, Újpest Dózsa, April '74. So that was a massive ground, and they modernised it now. But yeah, it was probably my favourite. It's probably the first one I ever went, apart from the Valley, the first one I ever went to, and it was a major semi-final. So
love that. That's very different.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, Paul. Sid, it's your turn.
Okay.
I've done separate questions for you and your dad. So, Sid, what made you fall in love with Charlton?
Everything, really. I mean, the fans are just incredible, and the people that you meet at the games, they just make you feel like your family. And the players just make it incredible, whether you're winning or losing. They still bring an atmosphere that makes you want to keep going. And just going to the games makes me feel amazing, because as a kind of younger child, you, like most kids my age, don't really get to experience this. But the fact that I'm experiencing this at my age is just brilliant.
And obviously, because you get to see Emma every week, right?
Yeah.
Right answer. I think I'm going to know the first answer to this one, but who's your favourite all-time player? And your favourite current player? I think I know the first answer.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always be his number one, but all-time player is George Dobson. And then current player has got to be Kane Ramsey.
Kane Ramsey. I love that. And Sid, your final question. You've had a few really good experiences at Charlton. So what has been your favourite experience you've done and why?
Right. I'm going to go for 3 here, sorry, because this isn't in order either. So my first one, I've got getting Dobbo's shirt at Exeter away, because I waited like a long, hard 10 games for that. And when he finally saw my sign, I was like the happiest person ever.
She made one of them bloody signs. I hate them signs.
And then I'll put this into 2, but I've got to be mascot twice, home and away, and that was just amazing. Getting to walk out with the players and just seeing all the fans. It was just amazing. And then for my third one is meeting all the Charlton fans that I've met today, and getting to experience all of these matches with my dad.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, that's cute. Tom, you're up next.
Oh no.
So your first question is, what's the best Charlton match you've ever seen?
Oh, nice. There's a lot. In terms of probably in the moment and atmosphere, probably Doncaster in the semi-final, just because I think that's the first time I've like properly seen it, like packed out, loud, atmosphere was unreal. Obviously the playoffs are a given. But yeah, I think Doncaster might be the best.
Yeah. And your favourite players, past and present, for men and women? Your favourite all-time players?
Yeah. The player that made me kind of fall in love with Charlton more was Ben Hamer. Just because he had time for me after every game. He spoke to me every away game. Kind of just made me feel welcome as like a 10-year-old going to a game. So yeah, he is my all-time probably favourite player, along with Bradley Wright Phillips, because he was just immense. Women's one, crikey, has been a few. Ella Rutherford is probably the best that I've seen at Charlton, just purely based on the fact she was with us for 5 years. Unfortunately, did her ACL, but she is one of the best players that I've seen in a Charlton shirt. Recently, probably Freya Godfrey, as well. Obviously on loan from Arsenal, now gone to London City, unfortunately. But yeah, I think those two. Yeah.
And your final question, what do you love most about attending men's and women's games?
Just the atmosphere, really. Obviously, I know it's a bit different. The men's, I think, just kind of being in and around the Charlton family is quite nice and everything. And then the women's is just kind of, it's more, I don't know, it's nicer there, if that makes sense. It's a lot more relaxed, a lot more laid back as well, if that makes sense. And obviously, where I've been to quite a few, like the connection you build with the players is obviously lovely as well. So yeah.
Cool. Tyler, you're up next. Are
There we
you
go.
So what made you support Charlton today? How did you first get into supporting the club?
Blimey. It's probably the simple answer for everyone, but my dad, to be honest, I didn't really have a choice in it. Still blame him to this day. My dad got into it because of my great uncle, and he blames him as well. He blamed, it all just descends to my great uncle for getting us involved. But yeah, I didn't have a choice. But yeah, I know I've not seen the best of times as a Charlton fan, but I'm glad that I wasn't given the choice. I couldn't have supported a better club, to be honest. Yeah, just match made in heaven.
Except when you go to away games.
Yeah, there is that.
And I'll ask you the same question everyone else has been asked. So your favourite players, obviously all-time player and your current player. I've got a feeling I know who your current one's going to be.
Favourite all-time player, Johnny Jackson. He was here. He's been here probably since when I first properly started going to Charlton, when he joined from, I think it was Spurs we got him from. Yeah, just a proper Charlton, isn't he? Just proper Charlton. Gave his all when he played. So glad he got the chance to manage us as well. Probably was sacked too soon in hindsight as well under Sandgaard. And glad to see he's doing a great job at Wimbledon. Yeah, he is just the definition of a club legend, to be honest. And it still bothers me to this day that he never made it to 500 appearances across his career. He done 499. That still bugs me now. But yeah, great career, and glad he's doing well as a manager. So yeah, all-time Jacko. Current player, I know Paul's already said it, but I do love Josh Edwards. It is just, yeah, I'm part of the club. He's probably the most underrated signing we've made in years.
I think you two need to come around the players' entrance after the game one week, and you need to give him a Chronicle sandwich. I need a picture of you two with Josh Edwards. So I think we need to make that happen one day. And you both need to get him like tattooed on your chest or something.
Jesus Christ!
He can touch my other shoulder. Kane's touched one shoulder. Josh can touch the other shoulder. What's that?
You're gonna have a very stinky shirt at this rate, Paul. And Tyler, your final question: can you talk me through a typical match day for you?
Wow. Well, it depends if home game or away game, but yeah, home game.
We'll go home.
We'll go home, yeah. So yeah, get the bus down to Charlton Village, or I always walk to the games. It feels more. I don't know how to describe it. It feels more atmospheric going to a game when you walk into a ground. And yeah, I don't often drink at home games as much as I do away games, but sometimes, depending on the occasion, I'll have a drink down the Oak or Saint, or I was in the fans bar the last home game, for example. So yeah, that was a good experience. But yeah, just I like to get to my seat quite early or before a game, soak up atmosphere. What's that saying?
Yeah, no comment on that either.
Yeah, no comment.
That was just an Emma sandwich.
Oh god, but yeah, where was I? Yeah, like to get to my seat quite early. Usually, sometimes 10 minutes before kick-off, soak up the atmosphere a bit, and usually have a half-time pint in the crossbars as well, and then swiftly out, beating the traffic. But yeah, that's it's kind of standard really for a football fan, but yeah, that's my sort of routine sort of way, and it's how I do things, and that's just how I enjoy going to Charlton games, and wouldn't have it any other way.
Where do you normally sit, Tyler? Have you got?
Oh mate, I used to be J Block when I was a season ticket back when we was in the Championship Cup years ago. Now I've moved over to H Block. So
okay.
And Steve, last but not least, you're up. So your first question: how special is it to you that you get to share your love for Charlton with your beautiful family?
Oh, it's just not comparable with anything else. It's beautiful. Yeah, I always thought it was potentially be my little boy before Sydney, but yeah, Sydney's just gone all in to an expensive level. And I see a lot of the things that I see now on a match day basis through Sydney's eyes, which is for a parent is fantastic. Yeah, I get to enjoy my club with my family, it doesn't get any better than that, I don't think. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. And obviously Steve does have little James as well. He doesn't just have Sydney. We do sometimes get him on the Chronicles when we're all sitting here waiting to go live. He just likes to come in and say hello to us. But he's a lovely little boy. And if you ever see Steve and Sid in the fan zone, you'll probably see James as well. He's a great cheeky little monkey, I like to call him. But and his lovely wife Tony as well. They're a great family. So proper Charlton family. So obviously, same question I've asked everyone else. So, your favourite all-time Charlton player and your favourite current player?
I always loved Johnny Humphreys, and I still do. And I when we did the walk for this at the end of the season, I got a chance to have a little chat with him before we went off, and he's an absolute gentleman, brilliant player back in the day. Still gutted that he left when he did and where he did, but yeah, he was Mr. Consistency, always exceptional. Probably a bit of a Kane Ramsey, to be honest with you. He was that player in that side, and I always really loved watching him. At the moment, best player, probably as an ex-centre half myself, I just love watching Lloydie. I love watching him dominate. I've said to Sydney, as someone that plays centre half when she plays, to watch him, to learn from him. His appetite for the game, his enthusiasm, the way he puts his body on the line. He's brilliant for us, and I love to watch him.
Yeah, I remember at that Upbeats walk, Steve. You saw Johnny Humphreys, and you went, "Oh, there's Johnny Humphreys. I'm going to get a photo."
Yeah,
you was a proper fanboy that day, and it just made me smile.
Yeah.
We're never too old to have a favourite player, are we? So
absolutely not.
And your final question is, I know you guys together like doing a bit of ground hopping, not just obviously going to Charlton away games. I know you've been to a few random grounds around the country, but what is your favourite ground that you've visited together?
Oh, blimey. There's probably a few reasons for some and a few reasons for the other. Probably the best ground we visited together is probably MK Dons. Lovely stadium there, isn't it? Not a great atmosphere, but that's one that we've been together. But yeah, we've had some lovely experiences in some of the smaller grounds. But yeah, probably the best ground. That's probably the most, the nicest one, the biggest one we've been to as a duo. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So what I'm going to do, obviously, I can't ask myself a question, so I'm going to come to these guys to ask me a question, so you guys can get to know me a bit better as well. And you might not want to, but but no questions about Tequila Rose, please. So I'm going to go in order from the top of the screen. So Tom, have you got something you'd like to ask me?
I asked this to everyone: if you could pick a five-a-side team from the players that you've watched play for Charlton, and if you could pick a five-a-side team, who would you pick?
Oh, good God. Dean Kiley, Richard Rufus. Oh, John Robinson has to go in there. Danny Hollands.
Oh, what man?
Yeah, great player.
Oh. Darren Bent.
That's quality. That is. Yeah.
That's not a bad one, that is it?
No, is it?
Paul, you're up.
I presume we're going back sort of early 90s, maybe like 80s. When was your first Charlton game that you remember?
Do you know what? I genuinely can't remember. This is the thing. I actually don't remember when my first game was. I know I was around 10, so we're going back to 1991.
Right.
Around that. I remember when no.
So was that Selhurst or Upton Park?
Yeah, so my first game would have been an away game because obviously I didn't go to Upton Park.
Right.
So it must have been my first games. I didn't go a lot because obviously I was only sort of like 10, 11 years old. So I remember my brother taking me to a few away games, and I'll never forget one away game I went to at Southend, funny enough. And I remember being down the front and Phil Chappell scored. I love Chaps. What a player he was. And I was in the front row, and he come up to me and we just hugged, and I had all these players on top of my head, and I wasn't very old at the time, and I was just like, I love it. I love this game. Like, I love this club. And I think that's when I just knew that I was in love. And yeah, here we go. 30 odd years later, I'm still here. So,
Brilliant.
Tyler.
Yeah, well, I know you like to have conversations with the players after games and on social media as well. So I'll ask, who's your favourite player that you've spoken to and, so to speak, got on to know on a personal sort of level?
I'd probably say Albie. I know that's very probably for people that, I know people thought I was like obsessed with Albie and etc. But I'd watched Albie mature from like the academy up to playing for the first team, you know, and I think he was heavily battered by our fan base. And, you know, Albie was a really nice lad. Albie's quite a shy lad. He's not very outgoing, but he would always come and make time to talk to me, you know, and I always thought one day I want to sponsor this lad, you know, I want to show him that not all the fans are against him. And, you know, I know that meant a lot to him personally. We still talk to this day. And one of the nicest things, obviously, when he left, you know, at the end of the season, I actually had a phone call from his mum and dad to thank me for all the support that I'd given him over the years and how much it had meant to them, you know, and how, you know, if there's one bit of advice I could probably give to the fan base, be aware of what you're posting, because you don't actually realise how much it affects the families of the players that you're bashing.
Yeah.
And, you know, to talk to his mum and dad, you know, I cried because I wasn't expecting that. But they, you know, they said to me, Emma, you don't realise what you did meant to us as a family and the things that we've had to put up with, and how many times we've wanted to defend you when you've been sticking up for him, but we haven't been able to as Albie's parents. So if I could give one bit of advice to the fan base, it would be just watch what you're saying, because you don't know how it affects the families. And if I was to think more recent times, probably Big Chucks. Like Tom's been around when he's come up. You know, he's called me by name and he's given me a hug. And again, at the end of the season, I had a lovely message from Chucks' wife, thanking me for the support. And especially, you know, I think again it's that same scenario where, you know, fans abuse players, and Chuck's got his fair share. And, you know, I think Nisha, his lovely, beautiful wife, said to me, you know, we really appreciated the support, especially through the hard times. So, yeah, there are some great people at the club, and, you know, their families, you know, they have to deal with a lot.
Yeah.
Steve and Sid, I don't know if you've got a question each or...
Yeah. What is your, like, all-time favourite Charlton memory that you've had personally?
Probably Wembley 98 for me. It's probably, you know, I was little 17-year-old Emma at the time, and I'll never forget it. You know, I was a bubba. You know, if I could go back to that day, I would do it again in a heartbeat. You know what?
Brilliant.
It had everything.
Brilliant,
you know, and to be at the old Wembley as well, and you know what a team we had then in '98, and just an incredible game. And I remember the penalties, and I just remember I had to turn my back and I couldn't watch. But the joy afterwards, and you know, it was amazing. So yeah, 98, I would relive that memory every single day if I could.
Lovely. As someone that's chasing the 92, the fabled 92 away games, you're probably someone that tops everyone in regards to the Charlton games, home and away. What number are you on? And what's been your best away game?
I don't actually know what number I'm on.
Don't?
I think no, because I don't actually track it. The thing is for me, someone was asking me this the other day, and I haven't been to a lot of Premier League grounds or Championship grounds. I've mainly sort of done our years in League One.
Yeah.
So I class myself as a real hardcore fan, because if you've been to Burton Albion and Port Vale, you are proper Charlton.
Oh yeah.
But I think I'm about 50 something.
Oh, okay.
So, but I hope it'll go up this year, because there's obviously a lot that I haven't done in this league, and that I'm really looking forward to doing. My favourite ground I've probably visited, and probably there's probably two. If I think a Charlton game, probably the Stadium of Light. When we won 1-0, we're in that top tier, and I nearly had a heart attack walking up them stairs. I wish I'd have feigned disability or something, so I could have gone up in the lift. But you know, it was worth it. What a great day, and I must say, what a great bunch of fans the Sunderland fans are as well. They are a really great bunch, proper supporters, but a really good day out. My favourite all-time ground that I've probably been to is the Emirates. But it holds a lot of special memories for me, because I don't know if many of you will know, but I lost my dad to dementia in 2013, and we took my dad. It was myself, my mum, Adam, and my dad, and we took my dad to the Emirates for the Emirates Cup, and it was PSG, Rangers, Arsenal, and there was one other team, but I can't remember. And we took him on a Sunday, and it was just the most special day out, and a day that I'll never forget. And I made so many memories with my dad that I'll never ever forget. So, yeah, Arsenal holds a really special place in my heart. So, yeah, the Emirates.
Good.
So, well, that concludes our Q&A. So I hope you all enjoyed learning a little bit more about us. So, obviously, we will be back on Wednesday. And as I have put out, you guys know we are being joined by a really incredible special guest. Now, I'm not joking when I say this guest is special, right? But I am not revealing who this is until the day before the pod. But, I do have some more clues for you, which I've got written down in my phone. These guys know who it is. So I'm going to let you guys, so if anyone wants to guess in the chat, but I'm not going to tell you anyway. So he was a player from our league title winning season in 2011-12. His middle name is Brian. Can you tell I've been on Wikipedia? He's 6'1", and in 2011-12 he made it into the PFA Team of the Year for the League One. So that is your clue. So this is an ex-player we have coming on the pod. And it's actually, and here's your other clue, he is still playing professionally.
Incredible.
So please join us on Wednesday. Get all your friends to join us as well, because it's going to be a cracking show. We will obviously preview Saturday's big game against Leicester City as well. And I just want to give one more shout out to the Gas Man, because he scored yesterday on his debut for Stevenage. Gas, I knew it. I knew you had it in you, mate. I'm really pleased for you. Show all the doubters what you can do. So up the bloody Gas Man. Well done, boy. I knew you could do it. So we will see you guys on Wednesday. I will be maybe dropping a few more clues, or you nearly found out today because Josh put it in the thumbnail and he thought it was tonight. And I was like, Josh, no. But so I will be dropping a few more clues, and all will be revealed on Tuesday. So keep a lookout for that. But we will see you Wednesday night. If anyone wants to inbox me with guesses, you can, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. So we'll have to wait to find out. These guys I know are all very, very excited to have this guest on, and I'm sure they're all going to be having some great questions. So big thanks to Tom, to Paul, to Tyler, and to Steve and Sid. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight, guys, and hope you enjoyed getting to know us all a little bit more. And we will see you guys on Wednesday. Take care.
In a bit.
Yeah.
Bye.